everybody, and welcome to this week's edition of Slade, the Buffyverse Revisited. I am one of your hosts. I am Jeremy.
And I am your other host, James.
And this week, we are going to be precogging our way into Season 7, Episode 4, Help.
Yes, that is what we will be doing. How are you, Jeremy?
Oh gosh, it's been like 30 minutes, my friend. I've had a few kids, I had an amputation, and I've also had the bubonic plague 3 times.
Wow, all in 30 minutes, huh?
Yep.
That's crazy. That
Interesting.
is crazy.
What about you?
No, I nothing compared to that. It's been an uneventful 30 minutes for me.
Well, listen, it's not a contest. I mean,
but otherwise, I'm doing pretty dang good.
Yeah. Are you spiffy?
Yeah, sure, spiffy. Yeah. What? Yeah.
Good to hear.
Pretty
Good to hear.
Dang good.
Do we have any weeds we want to go off in? Let me say this. I think it was last week's episode, but now I'm starting to think it might be this week's episode, but I really feel like it was last week's episode. But I had to bring this up. Buffy is wearing this garment. And again, I think it was last week's episode. I have 2 garment things to bring up. I'll bring up the other one during this coverage of this episode, but I believe it was last week. She was wearing this garment that just boggled my mind. She had like jeans, some type of pants on. I don't remember if they were jeans or some other type of pants, and then she had this, it looked like a literal nightgown that went all the way down to like her knees, and then it had like this, she had like this little t-shirt or whatever on underneath. It was so fucking weird. And I can't remember if it was last week's episode or this week's episode, but I was like, and then it made me think, you know what? There have been some really weird wardrobe options this year for Buffy. Like, I don't know if there's like a new wardrober person or what, but
wardrober.
She looks very, I don't even know. In some scenes, she looks almost homeless. And I don't know, it's strange. But there's another garment-related issue I'm going to bring up during this week's episode.
Okay, then. All right.
Yes. So, do we want to talk about anything completely ridiculous?
I don't have anything off the top of my head.
Well, there's plenty of ridiculous shit going on over there, but so no, yeah, I don't really have anything. I feel bad. I feel like our episodes have been a little short lately because we're not, doing our. No, maybe it's a sign of professionalism.
I think it is.
Okay. Well. Okay, then with that in mind, why don't you microwave us?
We have finally honed our craft.
Have we?
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Okay, we got a big hand in the screen there. It's very washed out and bright. You look like Casper. Why don't you... Since it's late Saturday night, why don't you just microwave us up some dates and deets for this week's episode?
Sure. As previously stated, we will be precogging our way into Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Season 7, Episode 4, the 126th episode of the series overall.
This is the 6th episode?
Help. This week's episode's credited writer is Rebecca Rand Kirshner, and our credited director is Rick Rosenthal. Our original air date was October 15th, 2002 on the now defunct UPN network. Our Nielsen rating for this week's episode, 3.0, ranking it 91 out of the 130 primetime shows airing across network television that week, and number 3 out of the 10 primetime shows airing on the UPN that week. Our regular cast, as always, includes Sarah Michelle Gellar as Buffy, Nicholas Brendan as Xander, Emma Caulfield as Anya, Michelle Trachtenberg as Dawn, James Marsters as Spike, and Allison Hannigan as Willow. Our guest stars this week include Azura Sky as Cassie, Zachary Bryan as Peter, Glenn Morshower as Mr. Newton, Rick Gonzalez as Thomas, Kevin Christie as Josh, Sarah Hagen as Amanda, Beth Skip as Lulu, Anthony Harrell as Matthew, Jarrett Lennon as Martin, D.B. Woodside as Principal Wood, and Jay Barton as Mike Helgenberg. My synopsis this week reads: Novice counselor Buffy begins trying to help the students at Sunnydale High, including Cassie Newton, a girl who predicts her own death. Unfortunately, a slayer is no match for fate.
Again, Jesus Christ, let's just give everything. Well, there's no sense. Okay, everybody, thanks for joining us this week. The ending of the episode has now been told, so who fucking cares? Mine reads, Buffy begins a new job as school counselor at Sunnydale High. Does she? Because hasn't she already started the job? Like, I really was reading this and I was like, I think you guys are a couple episodes behind here, friend. On her first day, again, is it her first day? Don't think so. She encounters a troubled young girl who is convinced she is about to die.
Okay. Sounds good. So we open inside a funeral home, and we see Buffy and Xander and Dawn climb out of caskets, and Dawn is complaining about she's taller than both of them. How come she had to get in the child's casket? And
they're like, Dawn, we don't like you.
Right. And then the three of them chat about how Buffy has some anxiety concerning trying to be the Slayer and the counselor at Sunnydale High. In the meantime, a old lady wakes up in one of the caskets, and she has been vampified, and Buffy promptly stakes her, and
Buffy does stake her,
and that is our cold open.
Well, they're like, oh, she looks so peaceful. She opens her eyes and she's like, I'm not peaceful. And Buffy's like, well, I can help with that. Murder. And then they close, and then she dusts, right? And then they close the and I'm like, she's like, Buffy's like, well, I always preferred closed caskets anyway. I'm like, did you? And also, is nobody going to ask what happened to Grandma's body? I don't know. Then we are at school the next day, and Buffy's, well, I mean, quote unquote first day. Again, I don't think so, but she's talking with various students. There's kind of a little montage. First, she's talking with Tim the Toolman Taylor's son.
One of the times he wasn't in jail.
Right. Well, I think this was before he became, in real life, what his character is in this episode. So, and basically he's just trying to hit on her, like the douche that he is. And then she's talking to this girl who's like, yeah, I got sent here because I'm getting bullied. And then she's talking to this other guy who's like, I don't want to talk. I'm not going to talk. I don't want to say anything. And she's like, oh, okay. And we just kind of bounce back and forth between them. And she ends up finding out from the bullied girl that the bullied girl who was getting bullied actually jumped on the guy who was bullying her. And did she murder him? I can't remember.
No, she beat the crap out of him.
Okay. She did beat him severely.
Murdered.
Well, it's Buffy.
She murdered him, and the teacher.
They're like, you need to go down to the counselor's office.
You
okay?
need to go to the counselor's office right now.
Okay, this is unacceptable. Murdering here. Okay, you do this at home, not at school. So then we cut to Willow and Xander casually strolling in what you think is just a park. Kind of talking about how Buffy's struggling with her confidence, basically. She feels like she might screw up and, ruin one of these kids, or, she's not qualified for the job or what. I'm like, Buffy, there's no such thing as qualified for being a school counselor. But you have a pulse, qualified. So, that's basically what they're talking about. And, of course, they're talking about this whole impending Hellmouth situation that's been getting whispered lately. And, Willow's like, man, I don't know if I was really ready to come back here. She's like, I just, I'm back here. And then I remembered, goddamn, now I know why I didn't miss it. By the way, Zan, man, when we turned 18, why didn't we just fucking move from this shithole and avoid all this shit? And he's like, you'll be fine. It just takes time. Everything takes time. Don't be a bitch. And Willow's like, wow. No, then he's like, they kind of stop walking, and he's like, well, are you ready? Are you sure you're ready to do this? And Willow's like, yes. He's like, okay. And then he just punches her right in the face. And she's like, okay, you do, in fact, hit like a bitch. And then she punches him, and he passes away.
He dies immediately.
Yeah. No, she walks off, and we realize, oh, they're not in a park. They're in a cemetery. One of Sunnydale's 13 and a half cemeteries.
Yes. One of Sunnydale's 27 cemeteries.
Right. I mean, Sunnydale's got at least 111 cemeteries just in city limits.
Right. 223 cemeteries inside Sunnydale.
Right. And this is the one that they chose. By the way, we know that Tara has family. A father, what was it? A brother, a wacko cousin. I feel like there was somebody I'm missing. Anyway, we know Tara has family, but apparently they were either not informed that their daughter was brutally murdered, or they simply didn't care. And so it would appear that the gang, the Scoobs, had to, pay to have her bloated carcass buried. And let me tell you, that shit ain't fucking cheap. And then a headstone on top of that. Meanwhile, fucking Willow didn't kick in because that bitch was on a murder crusade. And then she was in England. So she didn't throw in on this. And so yeah, she sits down at Tara's grave and she's like, hey, it's me. And Tara's like, sup? And Willow's like, oh, nothing, just hanging. Thinking about the murders. I don't know. I just find it weird that, like, no one claimed her, and the gang was just like, okay, we'll just put her in the, we'll put her up there by mom. We'll put her up there in the, the cemetery where we bury the people we actually like. We'll put her there. And meanwhile, they can't afford to, like, fucking They barely can make the mortgage there at that house, but they can bury a motherfucker and buy a headstone. Hey, maybe they started a GoFundMe.
Nah, I'm sure Giles probably footed most of the bill.
He wasn't even there.
So,
And he didn't even like Tara. He said multiple times, "Listen, I don't like this bitch. I'm not into the gay thing, okay? I'm against the gays and the gay agenda."
No, that's not accurate.
No? No? Okay. All right. Euro minutes. So now Buffy's talking with more students, and it's just more stupidity. There's this goofy dude who's like, "I think I'm gay." And Buffy's like, "Okay, well, first of all, that's gross, okay? And you should be ashamed." No.
She's like, "Listen, my best friend is also gay, and things just haven't been the same with her since she came out as gay."
Right.
Frankly,
it makes me uncomfortable.
Frankly, it makes me uncomfortable, and nobody should be gay because
Right.
I don't want to. No one should be gay because I don't want to be uncomfortable.
I shouldn't be made uncomfortable in my own world, okay?
Right.
And this is my world.
So I'm going to need you to lock that up and shove it deep down inside you, okay?
Look at me. Look at me. Look at me. Look at me. Stop being gay.
Right.
No, she's like, there's nothing wrong with that. It's perfectly fine. Listen, I've had a few thoughts myself, if I'm being totally honest. And it is the early 2000s. No, he's like, how did he say that? Oh, yeah. He goes, I'm not totally sure I'm gay, so I was thinking you should go on a date with me so that I could be sure if I am or not.
Right.
And then
so
he gets
this is now the second student that has tried to get her to go out on a date.
Right. And I'm like, wait a minute. I have been a high schooler. Okay. There was never anyone in my high school on staff that I was like, hey now. And then like, I think I'm going to see if I can't get clearly. I mean, it's totally fine if we were to go out on a date, right? It's totally fine. You know, I don't know. Just so weird. And by the way, just touchy sexual assault. The boy, what is his name from Home Improvement? Anyway,
Zachary Ty Bryan.
Zach Galifianakis. Okay. So Zach Galifianakis, he looks like he's 32 already. He does not even begin to remotely pass for a high school student. Not even close. It's not even like, well, let me suspend the disbelief. It's like, this dude is in AARP. I can't just look past that, you know? He's easily 39 at this point. So that continues to bug me throughout the episode. I'm like, why? Why did they cast him in this role? Like, they could have easily gotten somebody that passed as a high schooler. I mean, come on. Like, what are we doing here? Anyway, he has an artificial hip. I'm just saying, you know. So then she's talking to this one girl named Cassie Fig Newton. And she just kind of matter-of-factly says, well, I'm not going to do that. And I'm not going to do that. And Buffy's like, well, why? And she's like, well, I'm going to be dead next Friday. And Buffy's like, oh, okay, well, I understand then. Yeah, you should blow off class. You shouldn't even come in. If you're going to be dead next Friday, you should just go do some blow. Maybe have unprotected sex. Shoot up a little bit. She's like, you know what? I know this guy. He's a magic dude, and his place moves around. Oh, never mind. He's dead. I can't take you there. Yeah, but I know some shit. I could show you some shit around town. No, so yeah, she's just like, I'm gonna die next Friday. And Buffy's just peppering her with questions, and she's answering zero of them. Not
Absolutely
even
not.
one. Not even one. And she just doesn't get it. She's like, listen, I don't know how I know. She's like, I'm just telling you, I know that next fucking Friday, I am going to be worm food. And Buffy decides to make it her mission. You can just tell by the look on her face that Buffy's like, no, you ain't. And she's like, listen, I got to roll for trig class. And I'm like, really, though? If you're that convinced that you're going to die next Friday, does it even fucking matter if you're even at school? And could you please make a little bit more noise? And that's about what it sounded like. So, yeah, I don't understand that either. Why wouldn't you just be like, fuck it? I'm just going to sleep in. I'm not even going to come to school. Again, I might do some blow. I don't know.
Well, she's apparently still trying to like live at least the next few days, like she always has. Like so.
Yeah, I mean, I get. Yeah, okay, all right. I get. Yeah, I guess that does make sense. Because okay, fine. Fuck you. Um. So, here's the garment talk I wanted to bring up. So
Okay.
she tries to change the subject when Buffy asks her, like, what do you mean you're going to die, you know? And she's like, oh, I really like that shirt. This is Cassie saying this to Buffy. She's like, oh, I really like that shirt. Where'd you get it? So later in the scene, when Cassie gets up to leave, Buffy gets up too, um, you see that Buffy is wearing a literal white wife beater. That's all. It's just a wife beater. Just a plain white wife beater. But like Cassie is mesmerized by it. She's like, "Oh my god, did you get that? Did you go to Bloomingdale's and get that?" And Buffy's like, "No. Listen, listen. This came in a multi-pack from Walmart." And Cassie's like, "No." And Buffy's like, I swear, bruh." But I don't know. It just seems so cheesy to me. Because then, as she's leaving, she even says, "I really do like that shirt, but you should put a sweater or something on so that you wouldn't have, or how did she say that?
You don't spill anything on it.
So that you don't stain it or something like, or that so that it wouldn't have gotten stained." She says it like in a past tense kind of way, like I don't know, like it's anyway. So Buffy's like, okay. She's like, I'm trying to show off my tits. Why would I wear a sweater? And Cassie's like, touche. She's like, actually, Joss is trying to get me to show off my tits, so, he does write the checks. Okay, so Buffy then goes to Principal Wood. And she's kind of telling him the whole thing. And she's like, so what are we going to do? And I love his answer. He's like, well, we're going to do what we always do. Basically nothing. That's his answer, more or less. And she's like, and
Yeah.
he's like, well, I mean, we don't have a lot of funding. I don't really care about the students that much. We're just going to have to roll with it.
He's like, well, we'll do the standard like locker checks and that kind of thing.
We'll do remember the hair lice inspection. We'll do that. We'll have penis inspection day also. Um, I don't know. Then he pours her a cup of coffee and hands it to her, and she's like, no, but we have to do something. And she kind of like stumbles a little bit and gets coffee on her $3.50 wife beater. And she's like, oh no. And then it hits her. She's like, Cassie said this was gonna happen. And so then she meets up with Dawn, and she's like, I got a job for you. And Dawn's like, I got a finger for you. Like, I'm not your bitch. Like, what the fuck? And then we see Dawn catching up with Cassie. Um, so, well, she's kind of watching from afar in, is that that's the library they're in, right?
Yeah, yeah.
The new library, which looks nowhere near as cool as the old one. Um, so she's kind of watching from afar, and Cassie is with her friend Mike. And Mike is, like, they're clearly, like, basically besties, but he obviously, like, kind of wants more because he's a dude. And he's like, listen, I know we're great friends and have been since elementary school, but could I put my penis inside of you? And she's like, no. No. No, he's trying to ask her out to the winter formal. Apparently, he has already asked her numerous times, and she has declined numerous times. So, as one does, he's like, hey, I'll continue to ask repeatedly and without stopping. And then Dawn finally comes over and kind of interjects herself in the whole thing, and she's like, and then Mike fucks off because too much estrogen around in these parts. So he leaves, and Dawn basically introduces herself, and Cassie's like, "Oh, Summers. Oh, so you're Buffy's sister." And Dawn's like, "No, she's my sister."
Yeah.
And Cassie's like, okay, you're weird. So they talk a little bit, and she's like, so are you going to go to the foreign? And no, I'm not going. I've already rejected him. And she's like, eh. And then she says something like, oh, I just saw your sister earlier. And Dawn's like, oh, really? Why? It's like, bitch, privacy. Like, first of all, we literally just met. Second of all, even if we had known each other a long time, that's kind of private.
That's might not be something I want to tell you about.
Right. So then Dawn's like, "Oh, my bad," and then, yeah, that awkward scene kind of comes to an end, and then we cut to Hacker Willow a little bit later on, and what's going on Hacker Willow's Mac laptop.
She finds that Cassie has her own website, and there's a lot of like sad poetry and that kind of stuff. And Dawn gets back from school, and she seems pretty convinced that Cassie's problem is this Mike dude. But of course, everyone like ignores her, and Willow finds a website, or finds Cassie's father on like criminals.com or something. I don't know, but it's like it basically fills her in that he's had problems with the police before, and
problems with the law, see?
And it's like possibly an alcoholic, and so yeah. So then Buffy and so then Buffy and Xander go to Cassie's father's house, and Buffy's straight up
just straight up harasses this poor bastard.
Yeah, Buffy's straight up like, yeah, I think maybe you get drunk and you beat on your kid. And
like, wait, where did this come from?
And he's like, he denies it, and he's like,
no, I don't. I get drunk and beat hookers to death, okay?
Right.
I don't lay a hand on my daughter.
Right. And he's like that. He denies it, and he's like, I'm only allowed to spend like one weekend a month with her, and they come to find out that he just had his weekend. So the weekend coming up when Cassie says she's gonna die isn't even gonna be his weekend. So he's not gonna. They draw the conclusion that he's not gonna be the reason that Cassie dies.
And then and as they leave, he makes a mixed drink.
Yeah. So they skedaddle on out of there, and they bump into Cassie, who I guess was waiting for them, like for some reason. I don't know.
Yeah, she was literally standing there, like in his driveway.
Yeah. And,
she's like, I just wanted to see how that would go.
Right.
I just wanted to see if he would beat on you. I mean, never mind.
Right. Like, how did she know they would even go there? Like,
Precog, James.
Yeah, I guess maybe. Yeah, they run into Cassie, and she's like, "Hey, you know what? I really dig what y'all are trying to do here, but ixnay on the iron trade at my death day, you know."
And also, fucking stop.
Yeah, she's like, you know, there's nothing you can do to stop it. And Xander's like, are you going to kill yourself? And she's like, what the fuck are you talking about, dude? No, I'm not going to kill myself.
And she's like, and this is the same conversation she just had. Buffy said the same thing. Why are you going to harm yourself? And she's like, no, I'm not. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm never going to hurt myself. But then here we are 2 scenes later, and Xander's like, so I hear you're a self-offer. And she's like, no, fuckface.
Right.
Like, I'm not gonna kill myself. So yeah.
So then she starts lamenting about all the things that she wishes she was gonna be able to do, like going to the dance with Mike and going to college and falling in love and, you know, all that kind of stuff.
Catching an incurable STD.
You know, but she knows that she'll never be able to. And she makes it pretty clear that she doesn't want to die. It's just the way it's going to be. Come Friday, she's going to die. At that point, we cut to some dudes in some red cloaks walking around a fire in a circle, like in a classroom, and they are burning pictures of Cassie in this fire. And then we cut back to
crudely drawn pictures with like purple crayon. It's like, is that Cassie or is that fucking Hannah Montana? I don't know.
So then we cut to Buffy in her little cubicle, and she's reading some more poetry from Cassie's site, and then she ends up going down to the school basement to ask Spike if he knows anything about Cassie, because of course Spike would know. Like,
of course, he keeps track of each student. He has individual notes,
right,
on each student in that school.
Right.
That's what he does.
He doesn't have any information, and he's like, you know, I'm trying to stay away from the voices because I hurt the girl and I'm punishing myself. Of course, he's referring to his attempted rape of Buffy.
And he's literally spanking himself. It's really creepy.
And she starts to leave, and he was like, no, please don't leave me. And she's like, I think it hurts more when I'm here. And she fucks off. And then we cut to the hallways of Sunnydale High, and Principal Wood and some other dude are going through the student lockers, and Buffy's coming down the hall, and she runs into this Mike fella, and basically is trying to find out if he has any intentions of hurting Cassie because of all the times she's rejected him. And he's like, nah, it's not that big a deal. And like, I figure since Cassie won't go to the dance with me, I'm gonna ask Dawn. And at that point, a bunch of coins fall out from one of the lockers, which draws Buffy's attention, and um, she picks up one of the coins, remembering that Cassie had mentioned something about coins when they were talking earlier, and she tracks down the student that the locker belongs to, and we cut to later. She's basically interrogating this student, and basically gets him to confess that he and some of his friends are going to hurt Cassie. And we cut to outside of Sunnydale High with Dawn and Cassie. And what's going on there, Jeremy?
Big fire. Big fire. No, they're walking, they're leaving school, and Cassie's like, listen, I know that, Buffy had you kind of like befriend me, and blah, blah, blah. It's, and Dawn's like, well, yeah, but you really are my friend. And Cassie's like, am I? And Dawn's like, no, no. And then there's this weird fucking, I don't know what this is about, but Peter Pumpkin Eater, that's the 39-year-old kid from fucking Home Improvement. He comes up and he's like, hey, Dawn, so are you going with anybody to the winter formal? And she's like, no, actually. And he's like, okay, I was just doing a poll. And then he just leaves.
Yeah.
And Dawn's like, okay, what a dick. And then Cassie had said to her right before he walked up, like, whatever happens, don't blame yourself. So when she turns back to ask Cassie, like, what the fuck was that about? Cassie's missing. So time out. What the fuck was that about?
It was just an extra scene to show what a douche nozzle this guy is.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. But I mean, I feel like that was already, like, pretty well established. It just seemed really weird and out of place to me.
They really wanted us to know.
Yeah, they're like, listen, in case anyone doesn't know by now that this character sucks all the ass, let's do this. So, anyway, yeah, she's gone. Now in the notes here it says that it was Peter distracting Dawn so that his friends could nab Cassie, but I don't know. That's not made clear, like to us. So it's just like, why did that happen? So then it's later that night, and we see the group of douchebags.
Because also, here's the thing, like, there's a shit ton of people on that campus. Like, Dawn is not the only person that's going to notice Cassie getting kidnapped.
There are tons and literal tons of people walking past them in both directions.
Yeah.
But they're like, listen, we have got to distract Dawn. The rest of these people, we're invisible to them. Right. It's yeah, I don't know. Very weak, very weak. So now we cut to that night, and seemingly still at the school there. And the cloaked group of douche nozzles we find is being led by Peter the Pumpkin Eater.
Yes.
And they're wearing their douche cloaks, and they have like this circle of coins, and they're basically, long story short, they're going to summon
Cassie. They're going to offer Cassie as a sacrifice to a demon for wealth
for
and
him
riches.
To give them wealth and riches. Yeah, thanks for letting me get that out. So, and Cassie's like, tape got her mouth. Yeah, it's all this bullshit. Yada yada yada. So Peter starts the ritual, and then Buffy stands up. She's actually been in the little group of nerds, and she takes off her cloak, and she's like, "This is so lame. This is the lamest thing of all lame things that I've ever seen. And even the demon is lame." And he's like, well, "That demon?" And she turns around, and the demon actually looks pretty fucking nasty.
The demon looks pretty cool. It's a good demon.
And by the way, the
Yeah.
weapon he was going to use to sacrifice Cassie was a big old butcher knife, or like a
Yes.
is that what they're called?
Yeah. Like a meat cleaver. Yeah.
Like a meat cleaver. There we go. Like this big old meat cleaver. And I'm like, did you just leave school? Like leave for school this morning? You're like, oh yeah. We gotta do that murder today. What do I have handy? Oh fuck! I'll just grab this meat cleaver out of the drawer, and this'll work.
Where the hell is my ritual sacrificing knife? Ma, have you seen my ritual sacrifice? You know what? Forget it. I'll just take the meat cleaver.
But it's just like, of all the implements, sharp weaponry, you're going to use a meat cleaver? Okay. So anyway, Buffy picks up the meat cleaver and immediately throws it at the demon and hits the demon, and the demon's like, "Wow! Fucking wow! Like,
wow! Really?
Wow!
Really?
You didn't even give me a chance to speak yet!"
Right. You didn't... I may have... Listen, I didn't do this. Okay, they summoned me. Okay?
I have nothing to do with any of this.
Listen, here's how it works, lady. They do the ritual. I arrive. That I don't have any control over it, okay? Yep. I was playing canasta, okay, with my demon buddies, and all this next thing I know, I'm in this fucking high school, and you're throwing things at me. What the fuck?
And by the way, miss, every time I get summoned by one of these groups of douchebags, I always say no, and I get to show them the error of their ways, and I leave.
Right. I haven't actually granted one of these dipshits sacrificial wishes in like 2,000 years, okay? If you bothered to do any research or let me explain myself, you would know that.
Yeah, I have turned a new leaf, and you didn't give me 1 second to say anything. And now, look at me. Fucking cleaver in my chest. What the fuck?
I hope you're proud of yourself, ma'am. I hope you're proud of yourself.
I hope this makes you feel better, Karen. Yeah, I said it. And, and that's the end of the episode. He gives her that stern talking to, and she feels like shit, as she should.
Right. He turns around and walks out, and we just kind of slow zoom in on Buffy, like...
And she's like, damn. I kind of did fuck up, didn't I? And even the dudes, the douchebag dudes, they all turn new leaves now, because after having witnessed that, they're like, that was really wrong of you. Like, that poor guy. Like, that poor demon bastard.
Right. They're like, listen, if you had taken the cleaver to any of us, like, we would understand. Like, we were summoning the demon.
And gonna kill her.
Right. But to take it out on the demon, who just does, he just comes when he's summoned. He didn't even do anything.
Right. He doesn't even have control over it. We just sucked him right out of demon land. He had only been here for like 10 seconds, and already a meat cleaver right at his face.
Yeah.
It's sad, James. It's sad.
It's demonist, is what it is.
It is demonist, and I don't stand for it.
I don't stand for it either. None of the isms, none of the ists. Don't like them.
That's right. No. So she does throw the cleaver at him. It does stick in his chest. Does nothing. He pulls it out and throws it down. He is screaming, and he's probably in a demon language saying something like, "I just got here." He's like, "Fuck it. You know what? Fuck it. You want to fucking fight? Fine. We're gonna fucking fight. Listen, it's been 2,000 years, but that shit was over the top.
Right.
Let's get ready to fucking rumble.
He was like, you know what? I was hoping a fool would today. I was hoping a fool would.
Yep. Oh, it is FAFO today, bitch. And he just starts, he's like Golden Gloves. He's just like rocking her with fucking jabs, comes over the top with a fucking cross, and she is on the ropes, man.
He gets in there for the kidneys.
Oh yeah, gives her the fucking liver shot. Oh, that's brutal as fuck too.
Shit.
That's one way you can do some things.
That's what I get. That's what I get for goofing around.
Yep. Fafo.
Fafo. I fafoed.
He fafoed, ladies and gentlemen. No, they start fighting, and then Spike shows up. And he's got a big old flaming torch, which I don't know if he stopped at the flaming torch store or, you know.
It's next to the cafeteria there in Sunnydale High.
Oh, it's like the bookstore, cafeteria, then the flaming torch store.
Flaming torches, yep.
Okay. So he's got a big flaming torch, and he's waving it at the demon. And I'm like, just touch him. Just touch him with it. Just go bzz, and then he'll catch on fire, and you win.
Right.
So he's like, oh, I'm here to help because I hurt the girl. And she's like, are you still talking this nonsense? And he's like, yeah, a few more episodes. So then she takes she grabs the torch from him, and she's like, get out of here. And I'm like, wow. He ought to be like, you know what? I have had enough of your abuse. You have literally made me insane.
Right.
Fuck this. I'm out. I'm going to go find somebody who will appreciate me for getting my soul back, okay?
Right. He's like, listen to me. You were such a bitch that I went all the way to Africa to try and get the chip removed from my head so that I could come back here and fucking murder you. And then when I'm down there, this bitch-ass demon tricks me, gives me my fucking soul back. I didn't want that shit. I didn't ask for this.
And leaves the chip in.
And leaves the fucking chip in. So now what am I supposed to do? So I come back here thinking, well, I got my soul back. I still got the chip. Maybe I can try and do some good. I come back here and you're still treating me like shit. I'm out.
Frankly, a little worse even than before. I mean, listen, I get that I tried to brutally rape you, but it's been what has that been? 6 months? Like, you should be over that by now, okay? Come on. No, I don't know. It's just... So, Spike... she grabs the thing and she's like, go help Cassie. And basically, Buffy just waves the fucking torch at him a few times, and then then she sets him on fire. And, like, literally, and he just burns up and just kind of crumples to the ground, like, kind of ashy, but still sort of there. But, yeah, he's apparently dead. Spike runs over and beats the fuck out of
Peter
Pumpkin Eater. And he's like, who are you? And he's like, a bad man. Now hold still while I punch your face. And he just punches him repeatedly. Then he grabs the cleaver, goes over and cuts
off Cassie's head.
He does. He's like, I told you I'm a bad... Like, when Buffy turns around, she's utterly horrified because he's holding her by the hair, her dripping fucking neck. He's got the cleaver, and she's like, what have you done? And he's like, I told you I am bad man. And she's like, you have a soul. And he's like, oh, Jesus Christ. And then he just jumps out the window. And he's all fucked up now. But he takes the head with him.
He takes the head with him as a souvenir.
Because he's like, I've got some ideas.
I earned this.
I earned this. So he cuts Cassie's bonds, and she looks over at him really funny at Spike, and she's like, someday she'll tell you. And Spike's like, I like turtles. And then he just fucks off. And Peter, like, starts crawling towards the demon body. He's like, you sack of shit, you have to grant my wish, you can't be dead. And then the demon leans forward and bites him. Not even really, you see the wound, and it's not much of a wound. You just kind of like, meh.
Right.
And
it was such a weird thing to include.
Yes. Hello, there have been about 4 to 6 very weird things to include in this episode so far.
Because it's not like the demon bites him and then Peter
like finishes him off.
Right, and then like Peter suddenly like decays and dies or something.
Yeah.
It's just like the demon bites him and Peter's all like, "Oh, it bit me."
And you're like, "Oh, that like medium to medium high hurt."
Yeah.
I am totally going, oh my God, I'm totally going to recover from this. But it really smarts.
It is like when a puppy bites you with its very sharp puppy teeth.
And Buffy's like, good, because all the evil you did today, that is your lesson. And this, I hope, changes you. And he's like, you know what? It's probably not going to. But this really smarts. Like a lot. Does anybody have any Neosporin or anything on them?
He's like, I think this may be the worst pain anyone has ever experienced. And then Buffy's like, no, listen. Last season, a demon got his dick stuck in my wall. And then my ex-boyfriend had to climb up some
floss
with just the tips of his fingers, carrying me and his wife on his back. That probably fucking hurt a lot.
Yep. And then he's like, oh man, really? He's like, okay, all right, well then I guess this pain is more about a 3 then maybe.
Yeah.
So, but still, it's stingy. And it's got that little burny stuff to it, it's a real ow.
It's definitely, when I put some peroxide on it, it's definitely going to sting and bubble a little bit. I don't like that.
Yeah, I don't like that. And I'll have to keep it dry for a while. And
I'm on the swim team. How am I supposed to do that?
Like, this has really changed me in a fundamental way. Oh God. So Buffy's like, yeah, okay. So he's like, help me, I'm bleeding. And she's like, sorry, my office hours are 10 to 4. And I'm like, oh, go girl, you got him. And I'm like, and that's it. That's all his punishment. Like he's gonna bleed a little bit.
Right.
Okay. So they get out in the hallway there. They're heading towards the door, and Buffy's like, well, how does it feel, to beat fate or whatever, and she says something. What does Buffy... She says something about... she's like, one person can make a difference. And then Cassie runs a finger through her hair, and she's like,
and then all of a sudden there's a voiceover, and it goes, Michael Knight, a lone crusader to champion the cause of the innocent.
So, and she's like, yeah, and you will. And she just falls down and like insta dies.
You forgot to mention the crossbow bolt booby trap.
Oh yeah, like she catches it too right before it goes into her brain, and she's like, see? And that's when Cassie's like, yeah, and you will. And just falls over dead. And the next day, the Scoobs are all at Buffy's house, and they're all very emo and solemn, and they're talking about how she died because of a congenital heart defect that apparently had plagued her family, but no one ever bothered telling her. And Buffy was like, so she really was always going to die, and there was nothing that I could do. I must have failed her. And Dawn's like, goddamn right you did. You useless sack of shit. No, Dawn's like,
all those Slayer powers, and you can't tell if someone's got a congenital heart disease.
You can stop an apocalypse, but you can't do anything about a little fucking heart murmur? Fuck. What a useless fucking bitch. You should have stayed dead, Buffy. I wish you were dead. No, she's of course like, no, you didn't fail her, and it was because of you that, you know, I was able to become friends with her and lovers. And Buffy's like, oh.
And Buffy's like, what? Wait a minute. I'm going to tell you the same thing I told this kid that came to me because he thought he was gay the other day. That's not okay. I don't like it because it makes me uncomfortable, and I shouldn't have to feel uncomfortable.
Right. And listen, also, I know about this gay agenda, okay?
Right.
And you're not going to bring that into this house of God.
Right.
Okay?
And meanwhile, Willow's sitting at the other end of the couch, and she's like, what?
She's like, where am I? And then she looks around.
How has this not come up in the last 4 seasons?
Yeah, you never told me about your bigotry, Buffy. And Buffy's like, I didn't tell you about a lot of things. And then she pulls back this little curtain, and there's a picture of Jesus on the wall.
Yeah.
You know, like your grandma's house? Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And Willow looks at Dawn, and she's like, we gotta move. No, so, you know, basically just she's just like, you know, you allowed us to become friends. And so Buffy goes back to work. No, and it's a weird scene. They just show her go back to work and kind of hang her coat up and sit back in her chair, and she just kind of sits at her desk and credits. It's like, okay, well, I don't really think that part was necessary. We could have just ended in her living room.
True.
You know?
So, this is the first appearance of Amanda. All I'm going to say is make sure you recognize her, because she will appear.
You better recognize.
Because she will be making appearances later in the season. What else? This is only one of 2 deaths by natural causes in the series, the other being Joyce's brain aneurysm.
I know we've talked about this, but I still say that was not a natural, natural causes death. I still say that was related to Dawn's coming into the universe, you know.
Well, I don't know what to tell you. Our music this week, just our original score by series composer Robert Duncan. Apparently there's 2 series composers this season. I don't know what the fuck's going on.
Who the fuck knows?
Jeremy,
yes,
would you like to play everyone's favorite game, Body Count?
3.
Yes, very good.
I cheated.
I know. I figured after the last episode that you figured out where to find it.
Yeah, I never could before, and then I was like, wait a minute, it's right fucking here. No, I won't cheat anymore, because I'll play it legit from now on. But because I was like, oh, there were two in this one, and then I scrolled down, I was like, oh fuck, I forgot about the old lady in the coffin.
Jeremy, would you please tell me?
Will you please tell me why you fucking hate me so bloody much?
Would you please tell me and our lovely audience, on our sliding scale of 1 to 5, how many suddenly dead girls do you give this episode?
Living dead girl. Um, this one's tough, bro. I have waffled back and forth about 10 times while watching it and then while covering it here with you. And I just don't know where. I don't, even right now, I don't know how I really feel about this episode. I don't hate it. I certainly don't love it. But it's nowhere near as. I'm going to go with a. Shit, man. See, I still can't decide. I'm going to go with a 2.
Okay.
And that might seem harsh, but I'm saying this is a 2 that is leaps beyond last week's 1. But there were just enough, for me at least, there were just enough problems with this episode, if you want to call them problems, and just weird little annoying things that just irked the shit out of me. Like, I feel like this could have been a really good episode. Let's say they really focused in on this Cassie character, and they made this like a 2-parter, and really amped up the friendship between her and that's established between her and Dawn. That Buffy is like, God damn it, if I do fucking anything, I'm gonna save this fucking girl if it costs me everything, and and made it a 2-parter and really, really, just really ramped it up, really, really raised the stakes. Like, this could have been some epic fucking shit. But as it is, it's a 2. Trying to cram it all into this one episode was a little much. I feel like the heart thing was a little, I don't know about all that. I feel like natural deaths just really shouldn't be a thing in this show. Like, it just really shouldn't. There should always be some type of, like, fucked up angle to any deaths in some, because you're on the fucking hellmouth, let's be honest. And like, so I have a little issue with that, and I don't know, there's too much going on in this one episode. They try to have too many things going on in this one episode, and then it just muddies everything, and then all of a sudden, poof, we're at the end, and it's like, well, nothing really paid off, that could have. So yeah, it's a 2. It's not a 2.5. But it's definitely not a 1. So yeah, it's a 2. Okay. It's a solid 2. So James, on our sliding scale of 1 to 5, how many douchey 39-year-old has-beens do you give this episode, and why?
I am going to give this is going to be a little bit of a surprise.
Okay.
3 douchey assholes.
Okay.
I'll tell you why.
Okay.
I think, A, I enjoyed the episode. I like the episode. B, I think it's the best episode we've had so far this season.
Yeah. No, not for me.
My only complaint about the episode is a complaint you raised, is I wish that maybe it hadn't necessarily been a 2-parter, but I wish they had introduced Cassie sooner. And
well, yeah, or introduced her now and developed this whole thing through the whole season. Hey, that's an idea I hadn't thought of. I said a 2-parter, but yeah, like if they had introduced her now, but then had her go through the whole season and kept kind of touching back on her and her. Yeah. Good call.
I think if they had if she had been the one of the group that instead of Nina, was it Nina and Carlos in the season? If it had been Cassie and Carlos,
yeah, And they
then,
actually continued the fucking thread.
right. And
Yeah.
I think this would have been better, and probably elevated it to more than it was. But that's really my only gripe about it. I otherwise I think it's a pretty solid episode, and I do like, unlike you, and I don't think it should happen often, but I do like seeing the more natural deaths, occasionally, not often, because I do think occasionally the audience and even the characters need the reminder, like this was for Buffy, that she's not always going to be able to help. She's not always going to be able to save people.
Well, I feel like that
So
can be done. That can still be done with supernatural style deaths. Like, she can't save everybody. Like, and it's like, listen, they're already on the hellmouth dealing with shit. Like, when we have to add in, oh, you could also die of a brain tumor or a fart attack. Like, are we just going to shit into their mouths?
Here's the thing, though, and you've said this yourself a lot of times. You don't like too much reality in your television.
Well, especially not in this type of supernatural show. Yeah, I don't want a ton of realism, like that type of realism,
Right.
Where it's like, oh no, I've got a bad case of gingivitis. I have to get to the, it's like, come on, let's get back to fucking, killing demons and fucking vampires. I don't
know. But yeah. So for me, this episode was a 3.
Alrighty. Well, fair enough. That's our first kind of real divergence so far.
Yeah.
And it's okay to be wrong, James.
Well, and I don't even think it was really that huge of a divergence. I think you and I both had the same main gripe about it. I was just more generous.
But and you said it was pretty solid, whereas I thought it was, again, there was too much going on, and it was mishmashed, and then it just seemed muddy. That was my biggest complaint about the whole thing. Because I can't change the fact that, well, I wish they had done this with her and that with her, but
right,
of things that I could actually point at, it was like there was just too much going on, and it muddied everything up. And then you're like, oh, I was just getting to like her, and she's dead. Okay. And by the way, I think she would have been an excellent actress and character to have been grouped amongst the group that we are going to meet as the season goes on.
Oh, yeah.
To have been one of them. She's a strong actress. Anyway, so, that being said, James.
Jeremy.
BuffyRevisited.com, that's our website.
It is, yes.
And you can get links to all of our stuff there, BuffyRevisited@gmail.com, which is our email address. You can get a link to our YouTube page where you can watch the video version of this very podcast. And also a link to our OnlyFans, which is nipples.
Wow, we haven't broken out the OnlyFans in ages.
Well, listen,
we're needing a throwback.
We're needing some cash, so it's time to fire up the old nipple machine.
Right. And lest we remind everyone that it isn't anything dirty. It's literally the episode of Buffy that we just discussed, but it's crudely acted out in drawings of centered around our nipples.
Right, hairy man nipples.
Yeah.
Yep. That's all it is.
Yeah. It's nothing dirty.
So give us money.
So please give us money.
Okay. So yeah, BuffyRevisited.com, and you can find links to whatever we've got going on. Yeah. Other than that, James, can you even fathom what we're going to be doing next week?
Is it Selfless?
Son of a bitch. You're a precog, aren't you?
I am.
Yes,
Which
indeed.
means I can tell you that I'm not going to make it to do next week's episode.
Oh, are you gonna die?
I'm going to die.
Okay. Heart defect.
No, in your arms tonight. I just died in your
Okay.
arms tonight.
It must have been something that I said. All right. Yes. Next week will be season 7, episode 5, Selfless.
Yes.
So, and it's obviously a werewolf centered episode.
Obviously about werewolves.
Right. So, James, anything you want to say to wrap it up this week?
Nope.
Me either. So, thanks for joining us this week, everyone. We will see you next week. Until then, I have been one of your hosts. I'm Jeremy.
I'm your other host, James.
Ta ta.